Starting your own business can feel like you're standing at the edge of a cliff. Fear, doubt, keep whispering, what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? Trust me, I have been there. If God is calling you to something bigger, there is this constant tension of, can I? Will I? Should I? When do I? And it can leave you very paralyzed. But the biggest thing about it is just the confidence that you have in yourself to take the next step. Starting your business doesn't require you to have it all figured out. It just requires you trusting in God and to allow Him to show you the way. Today, I'm going to talk about building confidence to take that first step, or to make that change, to pivot, to switch directions, to jump from one dream to another one, no matter how scared you are feeling right now. Hey everyone, I'm Emily. I'm a certified Christian life and business coach. I have my MBA and I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. I'm excited that you're here. Stay connected because we are talking about all things entrepreneurship. When I first started my business, I was terrified and I felt like I had every excuse running through my mind. And I came from a family of entrepreneurs. I knew what running your own business was like. I saw the motivation. I saw the struggles. I had like a behind the scenes entire paradigm of entrepreneurship. And I'm very much natured like my parents. So it was no real surprise to me when I decided, no, like I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to live the corporate life. And I've spoken to my corporate life in previous episodes, so check those out. And it fits me because I can't be told what to do. I want to beat to my own drum. I want to live my life by my set of rules, even though that is in sync with the Lord and aligned with the Lord. And I have just felt called to explore, to learn, and I'm very multi-passionate. So I have a lot of coals in different fires, and I've had a sequence of different jobs, different businesses, and I keep all of those within reach because I'm a person who likes options. I do not feel like I have to stay in a box. And so entrepreneurship though, that's a challenging perspective because you also get very sidelined with just being completely paralyzed by overanalysis. So analysis paralysis, as they say. And you have to be disciplined. You have to have a different way in which you work because if you don't, you're not getting paid. Your business isn't going anywhere. And that comes with a set pressure on your shoulders. And you have to have a certain confidence to forge this entrepreneurship path, to start this business, to do this thing. And that's why I find it to be like the single most important thing to harness when you're starting your business. And as a Christian business coach, where am I, presuming you get that from? God. Your confidence comes from Christ. And that's what we're digging into. How can you build that confidence? How can you understand what that is? I remember one night I was completely overwhelmed with just like the dreams I had, the aspirations, the expectations I had of myself, the failures that I had iterated and felt like, what is going on? I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to do and where I was going. And it felt completely at arm's length, past arm's length. Like I couldn't get it. I couldn't grasp what it is. And God spoke to me and I was thinking of the word courageous over and over again. Well, you know what I love in the Bible is in the back, in some Bibles, they have an index. So you could look up like a word that you're walking through, loneliness, grief, whatever. And I looked at the word courageous and it took me to the Bible verse, Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And that was like an answered prayer in that moment to me because I was like, God is speaking to me saying, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know exactly what's happening. You just need to have courage. Courage to take the step, courage to take the action. That's going to embolden you. That's going to get you making progress. That's going to step you in to what I'm calling you to do. You don't have to have all the answers. It's okay that you failed up until this point. You are going to figure this out because you're relying on me and you're leaning into the faith that you have that I'm calling you to do this. And it's going to look different and it's going to be uncomfortable. And it has been, and it has turned out different than I expected. But it's all been exactly what God has needed from me in the seasons that I've been in life so far. And I had it felt like a battle cry. It felt like confidence washed over me because I was like, no, I just prayed about this and you just answered me, go do it. Just be strong. Don't have fear. Go and do it. And again, that was like a confirmation that God was saying, no, like you're on the right path. It just doesn't feel comfortable to you right now. So confidence isn't something that you can just muster up. It's not about looking in the mirror and just going, I've got this, I'm going to do it. It's all about faith. It's believing in the one who called you to that. Now, I talk a lot about mindset. I talk a lot about thoughts and mindset work because God speaks to that so much in scripture. Your thoughts, what's in your heart is a dictator of your life and the fruit from your life. You have to capture your thoughts. You have to capture what you're thinking, what you're feeling, have an understanding of that and work through that. And I have episodes that you can go check those out. I talk specifically about a model I call the awake model, and it's just helping you harness what you're thinking about and how to correlate that to have different action and different fruit in your life. So it's very important to have good thinking, but the precept to that good thinking is to know God and to be leaning on him and to be leaning into your faith with Christ at your side and in front of you and leading you down that path. So like your thoughts have to be initiated by something. And so I'm just encouraging you, like in this walk of entrepreneurship and launching this business and launching the dream that you have, you're going to have faith in God that he's calling you to that. And you need to be in prayer over that. And you need to have the courage to take those steps. In Hebrews 11:1, it says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Faith is confidence. Not in what we can see or control, but in what God is already working out for us. When you align your business dreams with that, with his purpose, you're not walking alone. You're not by yourself. And that is the precept to this faith-driven confidence. Trusting God will equip you for what he's called you to do, even when it feels messy, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you fail. How are we going to build that confidence? Number one, I mentioned a minute ago, praying. Pray for courage and discernment daily. That is like my top prayer as a mom of three balancing being an entrepreneur. Why? Because I need to have discernment and I need to have courage to do things and take the day and be as productive as I can. I like to say I try to approach my days with open hands because you can have all the plans in the world and things are going to happen. And as a mom, like my primary calling in life is motherhood, especially in this season right now. Like my primary role is to care for my kids. They're all small. They all need me. And that is the most important role in my life. So everything has to come second to that. And hello, 3 kids. It's a lot. And they can sideline my day like that just by getting sick and needing to take them to the doctor, to the pharmacy, back, that half my day is gone. So I have to approach my day with open hands. But my prayer is always to the Lord, let it be what I do today to be for your glory and to accomplish what I need to for your will in my life. And I have always been a very type A person. I want to plan everything out. I want it to work just so. I want it to line up just so. I want the timeline to be there. And that has been my biggest growing point in my entrepreneurship journey. I've had to let time go. My time in the sense of like feeling like I'm doing what I need to do in a compressed amount of time. That's always how I operate. Like it should be happening now. It should be happening next week. It should be happening later this afternoon. And I never got far. It was just like I was walking on a treadmill because naturally, my day got sidelined. And then I was living in complete and utter disappointment and resentment towards God because I felt like I'm doing all this stuff. I'm trying to manage all these things and I'm getting nowhere. And it was really short-circuiting my confidence. And I went through a season of complete burnout back in 2020, 2021. Absolute total burnout. I just was like bitter, angry, mad because I felt like I couldn't get the momentum and get ahead in the way that I wanted to. My confidence tanked because I was like, I'm horrible. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I misread, I misunderstood what God wanted me to do when I was reading in scripture, when I was praying. I felt like he was clearly telling me to do this and clearly I'm not supposed to. And all of my metrics were being based on these external things and not realizing that like my journey through this has been to lean on God. And every time I do, and he is at the forefront, my business flourishes. Things in my life don't go perfectly, but like I'm able to manage it. And I also gain better perspective. So I have much more life balance than I ever did before. And I got hardly anywhere in different businesses that I had than I do now, which is absolute better balance and better mindset because I have the confidence in what God's working through me. And I have the confidence in what I do know, what I am good at, and seeing that God is telling me to focus on this. And I reap fruit when I focus on what he's telling me to do rather than getting squirrel brain and trying to do it all. So I know what that feels like. And prayer has been the single most driving force in keeping me on this path, keeping my business growing, even if it's not been at the pace that I wanted it to in certain seasons. It's flourishing and I'm loving it in this season that I'm in now, but I've had to go through that journey. And prayer has been the thing that has helped me recognize and realize when to pivot, where to take this, what choices to make, what changes to make, and having a deeper relationship with God, which is ultimately the purpose to all of it. So the other way that you're going to build your confidence is to identify your God-given strengths. So God has uniquely gifted you with talents, with skills, with passions, and we overlook those a lot because what comes second nature to us could be an absolute foreign language to someone else. I really want you to take a moment and reflect on what's something that people always come to me for. Where does my creativity come out? I'm not a crafty mom, but I can decorate a house. Like, I love decorating houses, interior design. I got that. People in my life are always coming to me for suggestions, for help figuring out what to do. And that's just a literal side thing that I like. So we all have things, what is it that your creativity comes out, or what is something that you could learn about, read about, write about forever. Like, it never gets boring to you. So think about those. Those are clues. One other thing, an exercise I love to help my coaching clients with, life coaching and or business coaching, I ask them, what was something that was prevalent in your childhood that you like to play? What was the thing that your imagination went to the most? For me, it was literally coaching and teaching. I would set up all my stuffed animals, all my baby dolls, and I would come up with lesson plans and I would teach them something. I just loved doing that. It's funny. My imagination would always go to me being in that type of role. So what was it for you? What was something that your imagination ran wild with? That's also a clue. That's how God innately made you. You had an interest in that. You could really see something in that arena. Dig into that a little bit. Revisit that. Those are always great ways to get your thoughts flowing with, how did God make me? Sometimes we get so caught up in our habits and what other people want from us, the expectations that we've set for ourselves that aren't even really aligned with us anymore, that we don't give ourselves the time to think about that and consider that. So I just want you to take the time to do that, because you're also going to gain confidence from realizing, like, God put that in me. I'm actually innately good at that because clearly there's a pattern here. And that is always very life-giving and encouraging, especially when you're praying specifically to go in a certain direction. The third way to build confidence is to set faith-filled goals. So we just had an episode about that earlier this week. Make sure to check out that video before this one and hear all the pieces and placements you need to create faith-filled goals. So confidence grows when you take a step toward something bigger than yourself, or toward the goal that you have, the dream that you have. And that's where you need to implement understanding the Lord, where He has you now, what you need to be focused on, committing to taking steps every day, even if they're big or small, and making progress on that. And a great way to start that is to have accountability. So find a friend, talk to a friend about your dream, put it out into the world, as they say, get feedback on that. And that's a great way to start building your confidence and getting a perspective that could help you further plan out what you're thinking, taking the next step. Like, they might ask a great question. You're like, oh my goodness, that is a great place to start. I need to go contact so-and-so, or I need to go look that up. All of that starts to build confidence because you're making progress. They say the most successful people make their bed first thing in the morning. It's taking that small action to do something that is helpful to your mind, your environment, your situation, your circumstance, that builds momentum. So you want to take steps and take actions that build that momentum, that builds up confidence. To make this even easier, to make this whole idea easier of how to build confidence, what type of actions to take each day, I created a confidence building checklist. And if you click the link in the show notes below, you're going to be taken to my Substack and you can get that download there. This is a way for me to connect deeper with my community and really provide you guys with tools. So I just want to plug that real quick. If you want a printable or downloadable checklist and a format for getting your head around this goal and really planning it out, then go grab that resource by clicking the link in the show notes below. Confidence to start your business God's way isn't about never feeling afraid, not being uncomfortable, not failing. It's about choosing to trust God more than your fears, more than the things that are setting you back, more than the worry that you don't have it all figured out. God is calling you So he is going to equip you. You're not going to have all the answers. And I know for me, like when I started down the process of certification for life coaching, for my Christian life coaching, I had this idea of what my life was going to look like once I got the certification and how that was going to play out. God has used that experience getting certified in so many different ways. And I'm not doing the traditional coaching one-on-one type of business. This is what I'm doing right now, and connecting with a community, building up a community, and helping as many people as I can in the realm of launching businesses. And I really found a passion for that because I just believe in opportunities and really leaning into where God has you for the season that you're in. What makes the most sense? And entrepreneurship is not this rosy picture. It's not super easy, but it is such a life-giving, exhilarating experience because as a Christian business owner, I have to lean on God in so many different areas of my life, my finances, my business, my relationships, my personal things that I need to get over or get better at so that my life can be purposeful and intentional like I want it to be. And it has required a lot of me and a lot of me to lean on God. And so I see my entrepreneurship journey as such a tool in my relationship with God because I lean on Him a lot for my business. And that's why my business is where it's at today. And that's why there's been different iterations. I mean, I've self-taught myself code and like how to write websites. I didn't go to school for that, but I literally could probably charge thousands of dollars to build websites for people because I learned how to do it in this journey. That's an opportunity. If something happened, I could literally start offering that as a service and earn income. My journey and your journey is providing you opportunities and options, and leaning on God helps you discern what to do when, how to do it, how to leverage your time better. As a mother, I am so grateful for this experience of entrepreneurship because I get to be the primary caregiver to my kids. I don't get to miss moments in their life. I get to be there all the time. And that has been an important thing to me. This has afforded me the ability to do that. So to allow fear or the unknown to hold you back from all of that is such a disservice to you, to God, and to the people that are going to be impacted by whatever you do. Whatever type of business you do, it doesn't have to be directly like Christian life coaching. You could be selling a pencil. And as a Christian, this could bring a lot of light into the world because your hands are on it. Your intentions are behind it. God made you super passionate about making this pencil, and it's going to impact somebody's life. So why are you holding that back? As you make decisions, as you take action, as you plan out a goal and start making little steps, that builds your confidence. And that's going to get you into that momentum space where you start to see fruit from all of that. And it's exhilarating because you do feel like you're on a ride and you're like, where is this going to go? And you don't have to precisely know. You have the dream, you have the path, you have the intention, but you're open-handedly experiencing it with God. And that is the key. And that's going to give you confidence even when you fail, even when something goes wrong and, something gets messed up and you lose a bunch of money, or when it's sky high and you're seeing success you only thought was for other people. If you are ready for the tools, strategies, support to build a business with confidence, I want you to check out the Legacy Builders program. I've mentioned it before. Check it out in the link in the show notes below. This program is designed to help you create a sustainable business aligned with your goals. It's an opportunity to fund more dreams and more opportunities for yourself. So check the link in the description. There's an amazing community that goes along with this program, and it's bar none just a cut above the rest. I've invested thousands of dollars and hours into learning the things that I've learned. This is A to Z program that, people are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go to college for what is in this course, and you're going to walk away with a business. So I encourage you to look into that. If you've clicked on this video, you are itching to get started. You're itching to get going, and this just might be the thing that puts you into that action space. Tell me in the comments, what is the one step that you're going to take this week to build confidence in God's calling for your business or for this dream you're wanting to launch? I cannot wait to hear about it. If this video encouraged you, give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and send it to a friend. Share the love and show the love. It will come back to you, I promise. Bye for now, everyone.